Alright, so I decided to finally do it, and I'm so sad I didn't do it earlier, because I knew that this was possible for, what, no, I don't want to say 2 months, but a little while now. Andy did this, like, of course it was Andy, he's insane, but, like, I want to say over a month ago, and I saw it and I was like, huh, that sounds crazy. And then I was like, one day I'll do it. And I did this first try because it's truly insane how strong this combo is. Like, a lot of people come to when I haven't streamed for a few days now, but when I'm bird farming, I'm always using this combo. People keep asking me, what is the best team for the bird? And I'm like, bro, you're looking at it. No matter who I'm using as my fourth, it doesn't matter. It will be the best team for the bird regardless, because Matrona, Megalda, and Melly are here. Truly insane. And honestly, the biggest difficulty for this particularly here is the fact that you only have 3 turns. If you're using 3 characters, you only have 3 turns. But yeah, let me get into, like, oh, what gear are you using? Because I get a lot of questions like that. I always, for every single, like, video that I do this, use Megaldo for attack defense with regular rolls. Attack defense HP. Melee attack crit and Matrona HP defense. Every single time. And for this particular run, I decided to run the healing card set. But for most runs I'm doing these days, I'm using the new card set. The new card set, you have to drop the bird card, which you have like a 1% chance of drop on stage 3, 0.2% on stage 1, and 0.6, I want to say, on stage 2. So it's very hard to get, but the card set gives you a 20% damage boost on this activity. So for most of my runs I've been doing that, but for this particular, I use the healing card set. But I could have actually run that other card set. Like, again, the biggest difficulty here is not even like, I don't know, like the fact that I'm lacking anything. I'm not lacking anything. My team is perfect. The only thing I'm lacking is a turn, because I only have 3. And this stage was clearly made to have 4 turns, right? But that truly doesn't matter. It truly doesn't. Especially now Megalda has a Holy Relic. It's like, the Megalda Holy Relic is so goddamn impressive, because it saves you so much by just having the extra buff. It's insane. So here, I'm like, because for stage 3, I'm like, you know, I need to have melee cards for stage 3, because that's, or sorry, for phase 4, because that's like, you know, the only way you can beat it, the only way you can kill phase 4. So I'm saving the level 3, and I'm like debating to even use it here, but that's the way to go. A lot of people keep asking, and I made a full video just saying that, because I still get people on Twitter asking me, why is my melee not doing any damage? And they send me a video, and they're doing like level 1s with melee. It's like, bro, my melee also doesn't do damage with level 1s, really. Like, it doesn't on phase 4. I only do level 1s as well, but you need to like get lucky that he crits. You, for the most part here for phase 4, you want to have like level 3s and level 2s for melee ready to go. Do I use level 1? I think I did use level 1, not because I wanted to see if it would do damage, but because I wanted the ult gauge. If it crits, yeah, it crit the first one, did 48k, the second hit didn't crit, so did 23. That's with Megalda, right? Which again, that gives me like what, a max of 10 buffs for the Amplify. That's how, you know, a level 1 can do damage. If you have like 10 buffs, but for the most part, like melee's level 1s just don't do damage on phase 4. Unless, again, you get like a really good run. With this, you know, I have, because I'm lacking 1 character, I think I don't get as much of a chance of getting cards I don't want. Because for the most part, honestly, the cards I really want are from these 3 characters. Like, regardless of what team I'm using, even when I'm using the 1, even when I'm using Kusok, the cards I want are from these 3 characters and not from the 4th. It never is from the 4th. So having only these 3 characters, it's a bit of an advantage. Not in a literal sense, because again, you do only have 3 turns, but if you could do this with only, you know, these 3 characters, but you had 4 turns, I think this would actually be optimal. Like, ironically, because you only have good cards. Like, you basically only have good cards. You have the healing card, which is phenomenal. You have the taunt card, the remove buff card, which is, you know, for the most part, you're not going to be using the effect so much, but it's a single target. It gets Melly's passive going. That's what matters. And then you have melee cards, which obviously they're the best, right? Actually, like, unironically, the perfect team. If only you had the 4 turns. If only. So yeah, this ends up being pretty easy. Again, if you have the characters maxed out. I don't want to say that, you know, the healing card set was worse than the new card set for this, because maybe the healing card set did help, but I honestly, like, I think that if I had used the new card set, it would have been even easier. Not that it can be, because it did first try. It's just... Also, I got a relatively difficult set of rules for him, or passives for him. This passive that he gets extra ultimate gauge is terrible for me, because that means that on stage 3, I need to kill phase 2 really quickly, and if I get unlucky, I could die like that. But luckily, I didn't get unlucky. And I think I got the one that he has damage reduction. I'm not so sure. I did this yesterday. And I had other videos to upload for yesterday. If you missed, I uploaded a video facing... He corrected me when I said his name, Boti, Japanese YouTuber. And I forgot where I was going with this, because I tried to visualize his name. Anyways, oh yeah, I didn't upload this yesterday because sometimes I record like a few videos in one day to like leave it for the rest of the week. Especially when it comes to like videos like this where I do voiceover, because if I did live commentary for this, it would be just a bunch of okay, I'll do this move. Like it's kind of weird. That's basically my stream, far beyond. But yeah, I had this done, and I was like, okay, so I'll leave this for tomorrow. And I don't know if it's because I'm aging, but it's been getting hard to remember stuff. I hit double digits and it all went downhill, man. The moment I hit 20, it all went downhill. Crazy. Speaking of, the Japanese YouTuber I just mentioned, he asked how old I am because he heard my voice and he genuinely thought I was like 40 years old. I know that I'm 21 and he was like, huh? You know, he spoke in a very like anime. You know how like anime characters react? Like, huh? Like, what, am I too old? Apparently it's like not very normal to be under 28 and have an adult man's voice. Although I've had this voice since I was like 14, and especially I would play on Xbox Live, right? And the adults would think I'm 40. But to be fair, my microphone was very terrible, so they probably just thought this old man with a terrible microphone. Anyways, off topic. My voice has been getting less deep over the years, though. I used to have a much deeper voice when I was like 14. But I think as I went past puberty, my voice became more stable and less weird. It's still very different, I want to say. Like if one day I wanted to make, like, I don't know, those phone scams, I think I would be very recognizable. You know what I mean? Like, I thought about that one time. I was like, man, if I ever want to change careers and be like a scammer, what am I gonna do, man? I'm so recognizable. Goddamn misfortune. Just so random. But anyways, now this is the big stage, the one that matters. Phase 1 here, of course, was honestly the hardest, because for the most part here, not having a third DPS, because I have two 3 DPSs usually. I have Melly, Megalda, and someone else, right? Matrona isn't much of a DPS. She does okay damage here and there for ultimate, if you have like a lot of stacks for her, but for the most part, she's not really good for damage. Only having 3 DPSs and only having, you know, 3 turns made so the stage, or this phase, was a little longer than I would have hoped for. But it is what it is, you know. But, you know, Melly... like, this damage that Melly just did for level 1 card was unheard of before he came out. It's insane. Like, he's just... Like... on this phase, you'd be doing like 70k and be like, yo, doing some damage, bro. Insane. Insane. Of course, always trying to stack Melly's passive damage reduction. Melly's damage reduction is the biggest thing that contributes here for this phase in particular, because he does so much damage to you. Like, I do have the healing card set, but if I'm not getting healing cards from Megalda, which I was not getting, like, I would have much preferred, you know, if instead of that Melly area, for example, I'd have got Megalda's healing card much better. But I just wasn't getting it. So the healing cards have probably helped me with that. But for the most part, this phase you want to get done in a rather quick fashion because it does so much damage to you, right? But the damage reduction really, really helps because of that. Because I can't really kill him that fast. Like, see, Megalda takes so much damage. It's insane. That's why I actually gave her attack defense, because if attack crit, she would have died right there. Like, Megalda takes so much damage. They're not ulting Matrona here? Oh yeah, I didn't want to combine the melee cards, because then I wouldn't be able to use it. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that I kill here. I didn't want to combine the melee cards and have it be blocked because I was debuffed. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Big plays, big plays. Oh yeah, I didn't want to ult with melee because I prefer leaving the ults for the last, sort of like at the end of the health bar here for the second phase. Because of course he gets the remove ultimate gauge thing. And again, I got the passive of him getting extra ultimate gauge, which is the worst because on phase 2, his ultimate removes ultimate gauge. Or I'm sorry, removes buffs, sorry. So yeah, that was terrible for me. So I had to kill him here, I had to. Or else he would remove Melly's buffs and I would lose a lot of progression. A lot of progress. However that sentence would work better. Phase 3, phase 3, for the most part, isn't as scary as phase 2 when you have that passive. Because phase 3's ultimate doesn't do that much damage. Not comparatively to phase 2's. Phase 2's ultimate is detrimental. Like, he removes all your buffs, and then he does actually pretty good damage on you. You don't want to take the ultimate for phase 2. But phase 3, no, you just gotta kill him before 4 turns. Because the first 3 debuffs that he puts on you are fine. Especially the first 2. The first 2 are negligible. With this scene particularly, right? But for the most part, you don't want to use debuff characters. And the one debuff character that you want to use is like Gringalfa, right? Which his debuff card is, again, negligible. You're not using it for anything but just waste a card, right? He's not doing damage, he's not debuffing, just waste a card. But yeah, so, ready to kill him next turn. I didn't know, of course, what passive the bird would have next turn. I was hoping that he wouldn't have the one that if he drops below 25% he full heals, because that's the worst. Like, that's the one that you have to consciously be managing. It's definitely the worst. But as you soon find out, that was exactly the passive I got. So, nice. But it's fine, you know. With Meliodas, it's like, when you have more than like 6 buffs for him, for the most part, you're gonna be doing damage cap. Unfortunately here, you know, I have like 7 buffs, which damage cap for him is like level 2 cards. Level 1 cards don't gonna do damage cap, unfortunately. But what you do is, you know, you go into phase 4 with like 3 melee cards and you just kill. You just kill, like boom, he's dead. Like, but unfortunately that's not what happened. And I didn't get a melee card here. That's fine. I don't mind taking a little bit slower. Although, doesn't he remove my, no, he doesn't. I thought for a second, listen, sometimes these phases blend in together, okay? I was checking to see if it would be wise to actually ult with Matrona here or wait for next turn. I end up waiting because he's gonna put in his buff card, and so what I can do is I can do damage to him with Matrona's ultimate before removing the buff, so that it will be a little more impactful, or a little less impactful to his overall health, sorry. Because I don't want to drop him below 25, right? But then remove the buff so he loses a lot of health from the buff. And then go with Megalda, which Megalda she has like what, 4 buffs here? Yeah, she has 5 actually, yeah. That would be a guaranteed kill. And she got the crit, which was unnecessary. I think without the crit it was still killed, but... yeah, 3 units. And again, the biggest difficulty from this is not even... like, I'm lacking something with my team, it's just... 3 turns. That's it. That's it. That's how insane this is. So, yeah. And before anyone asks, can I replace Megalda with something? No. You can't. You don't have to try this. It's unnecessary. Use 4 characters.